And back at Giant Stadium in the Meadowlands of New Jersey, halftime score is the Raiders 17 and the Giants 17. The Raiders coming to this game as a full touchdown underdog, but playing exceptionally well. And you get the feeling as this game wears on, Ahmad Rashad, that we could see more turnovers. There was one each way here in the first half. But this weather's getting worse, and the hitting intensity is as higher at the outset.
It really does. As I mentioned earlier, one of the toughest things when you got a cold weather game is holding on to that football. And that plays a major role as the game goes on and the temperature starts to go down.
Steve Beuerlein, who played in a lot of cold weather games at Notre Dame, he's a native Southern California and probably had the best first half of any player on the field, as he hit all over the field with some deep throws and got the ball into the end zone twice for both Raider touchdowns. The Giants capitalizing late in the second quarter on a pass interference call against Terry McDaniel, and shortly thereafter Bjorn Nittmo hit the tying field goal. But I think the Giants expected him out coming in to put them away early, and they have not.
They really did. And what the Giants like to do is have that ball control. They like to have that big time of possession when you look at the stat sheet. But as the first half has gone, the Raiders have had the ball 19 minutes to 11 minutes for the Giants.
Well, as we look at the first half numbers, the Raiders have a big advantage in time of possession. Look at that. And also in total yards, 159 to 107. Sims could not throw it all early. He was just 2 for his first 9. And then he started to get on target, move the ball downfield. But it is a bitter cold day. As mentioned throughout, it was -7 chill factor at the outset of the day. It is way below that now. And in this area of New Jersey, the winds tend to pick up greatly late in the day on a cold day. Nobody knows better than that than Parcells and Sims, who live in it and who win in it. And here we go now to the second half kickoff as the ball is hit downfield, and running it back is Mark Ingram for the Giants. He crosses the 30, and he's not done as he's out across the 35-yard line. Dennis Price, a defensive back from UCLA, number 20, saved a lot more return yards from going against the Raiders when he cornered Ingram and knocked him down.
Without Dennis Price there to make that play, I'm talking about we're going all the way the other way. This was a touchdown without that touchdown saving tackle. Fine play by Dennis Price, number 20.
And a 25-yard return. Fernandez is over the 1,000-yard mark receiving for the Raiders this season. He had a standout first half. In the end zone once with the ball. Horton caught the other touchdown pass. Giants on offense have Eric Moore and Doug Riesenberg at tackles. William Roberts and Brian Williams at guards. Bart Oates is their center. Bill Sims at quarterback. Started the day with 14 touchdown throws and 14 interceptions.
Bart Oates didn't like that ball, called for a new ball.
Carthon goes right. Sims throws a screen. Up for grabs. It's incomplete. O.J. Anderson, the intended receiver.
And O.J., a pretty good receiver coming out of the backfield. This ball just a little bit high, and it hit him right on the top of his fingers. Here you see Greg Townsend. He's coming in. Now he's getting held right there by Moore. He's got him right underneath the chin, but he doesn't get called for it. Win some, you lose some.
Interesting amount. The Giants have only got one ball to a wide receiver. Manuel has the only wide receiver reception for 11 yards. Virtually all the Raider passing yards has come to Fernandez, Alexander, or Galt. Those three have combined. Here's Sims looking for a long ball downfield. Robinson can't get to it, trying to adjust to the ball in flight. Lionel Washington covering.
The Raiders have always been very good on man-to-man on the outside wide receivers. Al Davis is a type of owner that goes out and tries to find guys that can play man-to-man defense, so you can free up your linebackers, free up your safeties, and let those corners play man-to-man. They've done a very fine job today. But when you talk about the Giants, they like to go to that tight end. They miss Bavaro, but Zeke Moa is trying to take up the slack. Sims, 6 for 15, 40% of his passes.
First possession of the third quarter. Giants with the ball. Through a bit early is Howie Long. We'll see if he was drawn off. Howie and his wife, the proud parents of their third child.
75 defense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Howie Jr. was born a couple of nights ago.
Here's the infraction. You see Howie just setting in the stance and then taking off a lot early. That's where, you know, when you're running in like that and nobody else moves, you know you went too quick.
Third down comes up for the Giants. 3rd and 5. Sims with that one glove on, not on his throwing hand. No, look at that stick. Eddie Anderson, the free safety, comes up with a thunderous hit on rookie Dave Meggett just as the ball came in.
They play inside and outside on Dave Meggett because they know one man can't cover him. As he breaks to the outside, here comes Eddie Anderson, number 33, and just as that ball gets there, he puts a nice hitting surface there on him, knocks him down and knocks the ball away. Eddie Anderson.
He was cut by Seattle. Has been a big player for the Raiders this season. Sean Landetta now into punt for New York. There's Stephon Adams back for the Raiders. Booming punt by Landetta. Stephon Adams fields it inside his 5. He might have been well of a dive to let it go into the end zone. Here's a penalty marker down on the tackle. The Raiders will start deep in their own end. Dan Land might have made an illegal block trying to free Stephon Adams, as Landetta, who's been an all-pro player, hit a 56-yard punt.
This was not a good decision to catch that ball. That ball was headed into the end zone.
Illegal block in the back, number 25 during the run back, half the distance to the goal line. First down.
The lower right side of your frame, you see just a block right there in the back.
How bad was that?
By Dan Land. That's just an obvious clip. That's a mistake compounding another mistake. The first mistake was catching the ball down there inside the 5-yard line, and then you compound that mistake with that block by Land, and the Raiders are not in very good field position right here, to say the least.
And the Giants will be hunting the football here. Raiders' first possession of the second half. 96 yards from the Giant end zone. They go to Smith. He gets him a little room as he gets out to the 6-yard line. Gary Reasons and Pepper Johnson, a couple of inside backers, combined on the tackle. Gain of just 2 yards on the play. There's Gary Reasons, who made a much publicized hit of Bobby Humphrey and a goal line stand in the Denver game. The Giants went on to beat the Broncos 14-7. 76,000 strong. This stadium is sold out on a season ticket basis for both the Giants and the Jets. Bo Jackson breaks it up the middle, and after he's down, a penalty marker comes in. The Giants are pointing at the Raiders. You see how close Jackson was to go in the distance. Holding call against the Raiders.
Art Shell, being a former all-world offensive lineman himself, does not like a call like that down in this area. They were just one.
Holding, 68 offense. Half the distance to the goal line.
Wilkerson.
Puts the ball on about the 2.5-yard line. Replay the second down.
Bo Jackson was just a stumble away from showing everybody how you take a ball plus 90 yards, because nobody touched him when he was back into the secondary before he stumbled and fell down.
Yeah, that negated a 9-yard gain as it was. It would have been a first down. Instead, it's second down and 11. Game is tied, 17 all. They pick up the blitz, but the ball is slapped back. John Washington, number 73, playing left end, got a hand on the ball. Third down and 11 comes up for the Raiders.
Steve Beuerlein looking for Bo Jackson again on that play. It's a fine play by Washington just to get his hands up. You want to get in the face of those quarterbacks. That's just a hurry. Sometimes, you know, things like that, when you hurry a quarterback, it's almost more important than making a sack. Look to the right-hand side of your screen. You see Johnson get his arm up and just knock this ball away.
Lone wideout is Galt. They go to the run, just looking for room to punt the ball. They go straight ahead, and John Washington again makes the play, along with Eric Howard, the nose tackle, and Gary Reasons. Field position tells the story at this point in the game, a tie game, but the Raider punter is deep in his end zone now to kick the ball. Jeff Gossett, and the Giants return man, who's run one back today for 76 yards for a touchdown, Dave Meggett is standing at his 48.
We talk about return men. The biggest mistake of this game so far was Stephon Adams catching that ball inside the 5.
Shank punt. We'll see what the bounce is like. It takes a Raider bounce, and it hits Meggett in the face, and he falls on it at the 40. So the Giants' second possession of the third quarter will originate at the 40-yard line of the Raiders. No scoring up yet in the second half as they start up after the whistle. Giant Stadium in the winter can be an Arctic wind tunnel, and the wind is kicking up and the temperature is dropping. Giants are set to go on offense. Good field position to start their second drive of the third quarter. All inside the Raider 40. Tie game 17 all. Power run. O.J. Anderson takes it down to the 37-yard line.
This is a very critical penalty right here because the Raiders have a chance to get out of trouble right here with this run by Bo Jackson. But we get a holding call here, and it's just things starting to snowball. Minimalist errors trying to snowball for the Raiders with first the bad punt decision by Adams, then you get a clipping penalty, and then you get a holding penalty. Any more penalties like that, the Raiders will run themselves out of business.
Stephon Adams fielding a punt inside his 5 when he could have let it go into the end zone. Here is Anderson getting the swing pass. On a 2nd down and 8 play, he's ahead for maybe 3 or 4 yards. Mike Harden, the Raiders' strong safety, the former Denver Bronco, knocked him down.
O.J. Anderson, even though he's 32 years old, always, and this has been a trademark of his entire career, he always gets positive yardage. He's always a guy that's always going forward. You don't see him too often where he gets in a situation where he'll get dropped for minus yardage. He's always going forward. Very strong in the legs.
Broke all the rushing records at Miami of Florida of your old teammate, Chuck Foreman.
One of the greatest I've ever played with, Chuck Foreman.
Probably the best in the league in his heyday. Anderson came into the league in '79 and rushed for over 1,600 yards as a rookie. Sims in the flat. Meggett makes the play, and he's down inside the 20-yard line. They had him isolated out of the backfield on linebacker Jerry Robinson. It was an overmatch. Meggett's too fast. 13 yards and a Raider first down.
And Jerry Robinson, as I said earlier in the game, his biggest fear was trying to cover Dave Meggett. He just got him one-on-one, and now Robinson knows it's just a foot race right here. And there's not one linebacker in the league, I think, that can cover Dave Meggett out of the backfield. He just puts too much pressure on a linebacker. He has too much going forward for a linebacker to be able to cover him running backwards.
He was the 1AA Player of the Year at Towson State. Last year, 5th-round pick of the Giants as Anderson runs. The Raiders hold on. Lionel Washington, the right side cornerback, 48, got a hold of a leg and didn't let go as O.J. takes it down to the 15. As we look at the scoreboard now, Eagles with a 7-point lead over Phoenix. New Orleans has extended its lead over the Indianapolis Colts to 17-6 in the third quarter.
Yeah, they're
That's
down
good
there.
news for the Raiders.
They're down there talking about who dat down there in New Orleans.
Yeah, that club won't be in the playoffs, but they've beaten a lot of teams that are going. Rams playing well in the cold at New England. 2nd down 5 for Sims and the Giants, and now they go to Anderson, straight ahead run game, and he takes it down to the 13-yard line. Anderson with a lot of carries this year, averages just 3.1, but he's approaching 1,000 yards for the season.
This is the kind of offense that the Giants like to get you, the kind of a football game that they like to get you in, where they have the ball for quite a long time and keep you on your end of the field. So even if you do get the ball back, you're always operating from a minus situation.
Field position's been the Raiders. There's the Giants in the second half. They've been plus field position all half. They go to 2 tight ends now, ready to power run right. Anderson right was cut down in a hard jolting hit at the 11-yard line. A 3rd and 2 carry is short of the first down. Thomas Benson, who's been a big player for the Raiders, a Plan B free agent, came in from New England, an Oklahoma backer, number 52 or 54, made the head-on strike. Will the Giants look to break the tie with a field goal? They have 4th and a yard. Watch her kick it.
Bill Parcells looking out there pointing, saying, go ahead, boys. If we're going to get the big prize, we're going to have to get in a situation like this and come out successful. Even if they don't, they still got the Raiders down in their own end, and the strength of their team is their defense.
And the form chart favors the Giants on these 4th down attempts. As you see, 16 of 21 they've converted. 4th and a yard, over the top, and Anderson has a first down for the Giants. He's down to the 10-yard line with 9:06 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Talking about a coach being a player's coach. Players love decisions like that. It gives you a chance to show what you can do. You have an offensive line like this that has a guy in the backfield that's close to 1,000 yards. For the last 3 years, they've always had a great running back, and that starts with the offensive line. So you give them a yard to go, they honestly believe that they can get it every single time.
Anderson needs about 21 yards now to reach 1,000 yards for his 5th season as a pro. Hasn't been there since '84. Here's Anderson looking at the end zone. He's down to the 5 on a cutback run. Benson got him. So the Giants with field position, and Parcells' team going to that power game now, Ahmad, trying to just push it into the end zone.
You know, he's an old tackle himself. He played a little offensive tackle, and he knows that you got a line like they got with a bunch of 300-pounders on down there. What you want to do now is just lean on them guys in front of you and just keep powering it into the end zone.
Extended drive. Giants have owned the ball in the 3rd quarter, but the game is still tied. That could change as O.J. Anderson takes it down to the goal line. No signal. He's down close, but not in. Big block by Moat. Big block by the other tight end, Cross. Mike Wise made the tackle.
That is called the avalanche effect. You saw the offensive line pushing ahead, and once O.J. Anderson got in there and started pushing along with those offensive linemen, the pile just kept going backwards and backwards.
Clock running, 7:20 to play in the 3rd quarter. Anderson, the lone setback. Power blocker Carthon is set right. They could be going that way. Anderson up the middle and takes it in. And the Giants break the tie. O.J. Anderson with the personal best 14th touchdown of this season. Extra point by Nittmo is up and good. So the decision to field a punt inside his 5 by Stephon Adams looms large as field position has led to this Giant score.
See, this is real football here. You see William Roberts, number 66, right here, just power over number 79, Bob Golick. And then O.J. Anderson, who they say is too old, he only touched the ball 9 out of the 10-play drive, 8 rushes and 1 reception, and takes it right there into the end zone. Here comes O.J. Anderson. The reason I call this real football, see, they got them little light wide receivers and people out of the game. They got the real boys in there now, and Al Davis looking on with some concern, and rightly so.
But you remember, the Raiders were down at the outset of the 1st quarter on a 76-yard punt return by Meggett and came back to take the lead. Now they're down by a touchdown again. Here comes Stephon Adams on the return. He is out to the 26-yard line with 6:57 to go in the 3rd quarter. And now we go to NFL Live in New York to Bob Costas. Bob?
Okay, Don, all the other AFC wildcard contenders hoping that the Colts will lose at the Superdome. The Saints are doing their part. Bobby Morse fields the punt. On the reverse, he hands it to Robert Massey. 54 yards later, the Saints are in business deep in Colt territory. Dalton Hilliard scored from the 7. New Orleans 17, Indianapolis 6. Back to Don and Ahmad.
So that is good news for the Raiders. The scoreboard putting pressure on the Giants. The Eagles are winning at home today. A Giant victory gives them the divisional title and assures them home field and a week off in a divisional playoff game. But a Giant loss means they'll have to go to play the Rams in all probability in the wild card next week at Anaheim. Rams are winning handily at New England. Out throw. Willie Gault dives at the ball. Did he get it? Official says no.
This ball got into Willie Gault's chest and then bounced out. If you watch right at the end, Willie Gault, number 83, the ball gets right into his chest and then bounces off that shoulder pad onto the ground, and that's a very good call by the official, standing right on top of it.
Yep, hit the ground. Gault has the best reception average in the AFC. Almost 26 yards. He doesn't catch that many. He's only got 26 catches.
But with him in the lineup, he always put the fear that he may go deep at any time.
Fernandez has been the guy. They're looking at him. Now a downfield throw to Gault. And Willie Gault has the ball, and they ruled that he's got it apparently. It looked like it came in on the one hop. Another official's coming in and says no.
It certainly looked like it hit the ground. Where just as we were talking about Willie Gault always have it being a threat, because you never know when he's going to take off and go deep. Here he just runs a corner pattern. He runs to the post and breaks it out to the corner. Now the ball can be thrown anywhere in that area. We can't hardly see it from that look. Here's another look. This is a better look. Watch the ball. Yep. Oh, yeah, it gets right through his hands, right to the ground. Great look there. That was an excellent shot at seeing that ball go through Gault's hand and bouncing off the ground.
Beuerlein, 3rd and 10, looking to fire on the run. Here comes Marshall, and Beuerlein wisely throws it away. The Raiders will have to punt the ball. Mervyn Fernandez was in the general vicinity, but he wasn't open. Beuerlein was forced to throw it away so as not to take a behind-the-line loss.
Beuerlein a little bit upset by that because he had some time to throw the ball. He just couldn't find an open receiver.
Jeff Gossett is in to punt the ball now for Los Angeles, and Dave Meggett, the ever-dangerous Meggett, is back inside his 35. A high punt. Meggett from his 43. Here he goes. Look out, look out. Dave Meggett inside the 40, puts a move on, and gets away from the punter and is finally run out of bounds. Gossett got enough of him to force him to run out. But again, his field position tells the story of this critical game. The Giants again have great field position to start a new drive. A 42-yard punt and a 23-yard return.
Dave Meggett is electrifying. He takes this ball with defenders in his face and then just takes off downfield, always looking for a chance to break the big one.
So now the pressure is on the Raider D.
They predicted a gloomy year for everyone.
Dave Meggett joining Taylor and Long, 2 Pro Bowl veterans in Honolulu in January. How about those return numbers of Meggett's on the punts, Imaz?
He's 4 punts, 124 yards, 26-yard average on those punt returns. I think that he has convinced everybody why he's going to the Pro Bowl.
He did the first punt return of the game, a 76-yard return for a touchdown. Giants have the ball in a 7-point lead. 6:22 to play, 3rd quarter. Pitch back. Running high with the ball is Lewis Tillman, a first-year back from Jackson State. They think he could turn into a game breaker. Lewis Tillman, breakaway speed. Howie Long got him, number 75. Eagles continue to lead Phoenix. New Orleans still in command of the Indianapolis Colts in the 4th quarter now at the Superdome, where Super Bowl 24 will be played. Steelers having a great year. They're a long shot for the playoffs, but they're going to finish 9-7. New England getting back into the game with the Rams now. 2nd down and 10. Tillman failed to gain on his first carry. Sims over the middle throw, and the play is made by Cross. Another standout reception by the first-year tight end from Alabama. Howard Cross, whose first catch for the Giants was good for 27, this time comes down with a 24-yard reception, and the Giants are challenging to score yet again.
This is a confidence builder if you're a receiver and the quarterback sees you covered and still throws you the ball anyway. A great throw by Phil Sims. And Howard Cross, a man not noted for his catching ability, has shown today that if you throw him the ball, he can catch it. He's a great blocker.
First down and 10 for the first down. First and 11 for a touchdown. Fighting for yards is O.J. Anderson. This second half absolutely turned on one play. Giants came out. Raiders stopped him. Raiders on a punt return decision by Stephon Adams. He fielded it over the shoulder inside his 5. Found themselves deep in their own end. They couldn't get out of trouble. The subsequent punt was taken by the Giants, and soon after they were in for the go-ahead touchdown.
And no one knows that better than Al Davis. In a game like this, which has, it's just like a playoff game. It's usually a one mistake that turns the tide in a game like this, and that mistake so far has been done, as you said, that punt catch by Stephon Adams.
Anderson hit by Benson at the 4-yard line on a second down and 7 play. Got ahead for 4. Giant is down.
Ottis Anderson.
Might be Brian Williams, the right guard, 300-pound rookie from Minnesota. Game clock stop with 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Starting today at right guard. Giants with a huge offensive line, a lot of high picks in there, and they're all starting to come together as one of the league's best. But it doesn't look like Brian Williams will be back today, Ahmad.
No, when you go off on, and you see he just gets his legs caught up underneath the O.J. Anderson. There's knee, hits right on that right knee, and just twisted as he goes down. He was able to stand up before he sat down on this little truck to be taken off. We hope it's not serious.
Giants have had good success against AFC West teams. They won, beat the Chargers, beat Seattle, and beat Denver, and allowed in those 3 games only 1 offensive touchdown in total. Raiders are 1-6 on the road. Only win was right here in Giant Stadium against the Jets this year on the road. Sims looks, fires. Incomplete. It's caught, but he was out of bounds. Mark Ingram, who only had 17 catches coming into the game, a former #1 out of Michigan State, but about 10 of them are highlight reel catches. He can really make the acrobatic catch. Here comes Bjorn Nittmo, now looking to extend the Giants' lead to 10 points with 3:32 to play in the third quarter.
Know where you are in that end zone as a receiver. Doesn't do any good to catch that ball if you're out of bounds. You got, at least if you got a chance at it, make sure you got a chance to come down in the end zone.
Nittmo hit one just before halftime to tie the game, 17 all. He delivers again, and the Giants have the biggest lead of this game as they're out in front of the Raiders by a 27-17 count. I hate to harp on it, but that decision to try and return a punt from inside his 5 cost the Raiders dearly. It cost them field position, and it led to scores. Let's go to Bob.
All right, Don, here's some more good news for the other AFC wildcard contenders, especially the Oilers, who are in if the Colts lose, in as a wild card. And the Colts are losing. John Fourcade flushed out of the pocket, finds Hobie Brenner wide open for the 30-yard touchdown. Ron Myers in an 18-point hole in the fourth quarter, 24-6 New Orleans. Don?
Thank you, Bob. And here's the count here at Giant Stadium. Giants in the lead 27-17. With 3:29 to play in the third quarter.
Don, games like Stephon Adams carrying a little bit of a burden right now. I'm sure he wants to do something big right now to get out of, to make up for fielding that punt not long ago. Down inside the 5-yard line.
Eagles continue to lead Phoenix by a touchdown, and as you saw, New Orleans putting away the Colts. So that helps the Raiders, but they have to help themselves, and right now here at Giant Stadium as they trail by 10. Raiders have an all-pro kick returner who's out for the season, and former Heisman winner Tim Brown, who went out with a knee injury. Nittmo will re-kick with a 5-yard penalty or 10-yard penalty. At the 35 it goes to.
Phil Simms there on the red phone. Red phone. I'm sure somebody's saying good job, because he has done exactly what it takes to try to get his team in a position to win this football game.
The penalty now, they bring the ball out to the 35 to negate the back and forth flow of people running back and forth to re-kick. Ball position at the 35-yard line where it's the Raiders ball, first down and 10. Beuerlein, he'll be looking at Fernandez before long. He's not caught a ball in the second half. He had a big first half. Here's Bo Jackson. And the Giants were reading 34 from the handoff. Reasons was through, number 55.
They start out, the Raiders do, with the best field position they've had so far in the second half.
That's right.
Just by a penalty, by not getting a chance to run back that kickoff, gives them a chance to a little bit of breathing room.
That's what O.J. Anderson said. Bo knows football and Bo knows baseball, but we're going to find out Bo knows ice and Bo knows wind. Beuerlein, 2nd and 9. Broken up beautifully. Giants defending cornerback Mark Collins, number 25, got a hand up as they go to Fernandez deep.
Fernandez was bracketed that time. He had Collins in front of him and Kennard coming over fast from the inside. He was not open.
Beuerlein tried to force it in. Beuerlein a big first half throwing. It was when the Raiders were seemingly in deep trouble after the Giants took an early 7-0 lead that Beuerlein started to hit everything he threw and took them right down the field. Now's a big down for the Raiders. 3rd down and they need 9. Pressure's too much. Leonard Marshall was steamrolling in, number 70, as an errant pass is forced. Red Cox also on the play. And the Raiders have to punt it again. And the Giant fans up and cheering. They sense the kill here in the 3rd quarter.
It's turning into a Giant game. Once again, you'll see Leonard Marshall coming from the left-hand side of your screen. Marcus Allen tries to get in and help out, but it's too late. Just a great bull rusher is what they call that. You just take the guy in front of you and run him right back into the quarterback.
That's what he did. Ran him right into his QB, and now Meggett takes it back on the punt return out to the 38-yard line. Let's watch Leonard Marshall again, Ahmad. Bull rushing the passer.
This is what they call the bull rush. Leonard Marshall just takes the man in front of him. As he backs up, Leonard catches him and just runs him right back into the quarterback. That's
Steve Wright.
Bruce Wilkerson.
Wilkerson he had. All right, but whoever he was, he threw him right into him. And Marshall, the Giants feel, is having an all-pro season. He was not voted to the Pro Bowl.
You have a player like Lawrence Taylor who is so great. He overshadows all these players on this team. And they've got a lot of great players on the team, but because of Taylor, that's the only one you hear about.
10-point lead. They're liable to look to run the clock some now with the running game. And here comes Anderson turning upfield, and he's to the 43-yard line, where Eddie Anderson, the free safety, and inside linebacker Thomas Benson were on the stop for the Raiders.
This Giant team, if they can get 4 yards a crack, they can do this better than anybody in the league. They get 4 yards and take it all the way down. And I think O.J. Anderson just reached 1,000 yards on the year.
Yes, he did.
Who said he was too old?
Well, as you said, he was a Plan C free agent. He was the only one that wanted him. He was eligible for Plan B, but got no offers. He's not rushed for 1,000 yards previously since 1984. 2nd down and 5, and Anderson breaks into the Raiders secondary. He's ahead for 6 yards and a New York first down. Lyndon King and Eddie Anderson on the stop. Giant salute for O.J. Anderson's 1,000-yard season. First and 10, right back to the money, but this time O.J. is thrown back by Howie Long.
Scott Davis, number 70 on the Raiders, He must have knew the snap count because he almost tackled Phil Simms before he handed off. Davis showing extreme quickness off the ball.
He broke through in the first half. You remember he got that big sack of Phil Simms. Only 2 turnovers in the game, 1 for each side in the first half. Game clock down to 30 seconds to play in the third quarter. The Giants have outscored the Raiders in the second half 10-0 to take a 27-17 lead. Sims with a play fake, buys time, lets her fly. Roussan goes for the ball, but it's not close. Lee Roussan, number 22, backup fullback.
And Phil Simms still not throwing many balls to his outside receivers. He'd prefer to throw them to the running backs out of the backfield and his tight end. A lot of times it's a better mismatch there when you use those players. You get a running back on a linebacker making him run down the field, and you get a tight end on a safety.
Could be looking at a wide receiver now, Matt. He's got 3 in the game, and Manuel, Baker, and Robinson. Howard Cross has been a weapon too. The tight end from Alabama, the first-year player, has his first 2 receptions, averaging 26 a catch today. Downfield throw to Stephen Baker, who turns upfield, and Baker has a giant first down. He takes the ball inside the 35-yard line. Manuel, a good downfield blocker, helped him after the catch.
Stephen Baker came into the game wondering how he was going to keep his hands warm. Well, there's one way to keep them warm: catch a lot of balls. Phil Simms, watch Phil Simms hold this ball to the last minute, allowing Baker to get open. He knew he was going to take the lick. He just hung onto the ball, let Baker come across the field, and put it right on him.
A good timing throw. Giants now with a first down and 10 and just 8 seconds to play in the third quarter. Lewis Tillman is struck hard as he gets to the line of scrimmage. Benson got him. Gun sounds. The Giants won the third quarter handily as Art Shell and his Raiders find themselves down by 10 going to the final 15 minutes.